Hey, that's Hugh over there.
That's Dunban over there.
Hugh! Hugh! We wanted a word with you, if you don't mind. If it wasn't Mr. Right, then sure. But you two? Meh. Oh, damn. I knew it. There's a hint of discord in Hugh's voice. You're not getting off that easy. After all, you're a possible suspect. Plus, you actually confessed in court. What was up with that? Whatever. So, what do you want from me? But make it brief, I don't have a lot of time, and I assume you don't either. That much is incredibly true. Why did you confess? Is it possible you care about your friends? About your confession today. You weren't serious about that, were you? Let's just say I had no choice thanks to a certain lawyer who failed to get the job done. Ow. My pride. My feelings. So you're really prepared to take the blame for this? Not gonna happen. The voice on the tape is female, so that rules me out. Let's put it this way. You don't actually believe that ridiculous play on words, do you? Well, my confession is just like that. A means to an end. By any means necessary. Ugh. Or as we say around here, oh, he's gonna do it himself. The end justifies the means, blah, blah, blah. But I actually do believe the voice is shouting you, O'Connor. Juniper's confession was quite advantageous for the real killer. But if Robin or I were the actual killer, he wouldn't have confessed. It's that simple. Even you should be capable of such reasoning. Or have I overestimated you? You're mean! You'll make a great lawyer someday. I mean, you seem to enjoy getting under people's skin. Could Hugh and Robin's confessions really prove their innocence instead of their guilt? This is gonna take some serious thunking on my part. All right. It sure looked like Prosecutor Blackwell was twisting your arm to testify earlier today. He seemed to be in possession of some sort of dark secret to coerce you into doing things. Is there some sort of secret he's using against you? Here's a flashback in case you forgot. I've no intention of saying anything more, now if you'll excuse me. Heck nah, you stink nerd. Hold, I am not through with you yet. Seems the rogue prosecutor has it out for me. Thonk, thonk. Leave, and we just might discuss you-know-what. Yeah, what's that about? No, wait. A little statement and Mr. Cool loses it. What's that all about? I changed my mind. I'll stay and testify. Testify! You really are a rank amateur. Even if that were true, you'd think I'd open up to you. So he's not denying it. Noted. That secret might be causing the discord in his voice. Can we use some therapy outside of the courtroom? I doubt it. Then again, we have the same problem with Junie and Robin. You're just wasting your time and mine. Next question. All right. You know, okay, this is bothering me. Excuse me for just a second, all right? There is a voice actor I have in mind for this very character that I can't unhear, and I just want to get the name right.
5 minutes later.
Jerry Jewell. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, that guy would be perfect for this dude. I can't imagine any other voice. That's really only going to be relevant to voice acting nerds, but you know what? That just means I'm talking to the right audience. All right, now, tell me about this mess. About that meeting with Professor Court on the 23rd. Why did she want to see you? I have no intention of telling you. You'll have to force it out of me any way you can. I mean, I could judo throw you out the window. I could do that. Ugh. Professor Mean strikes again. Then again, Hugh is in the lawyer course. Indoctrination! But didn't Professor Court used to say that the only good result is the truth? So why don't you drop this whole charade and just tell me the truth? The truth? How can you be so sure it will help you solve this case? Because that's what the truth always does, yo. The truth isn't necessarily your friend, nor Juniper's for that matter. No, you're wrong! I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna defend Junie the right way, using the truth. That's the only way to honor Junie's wishes in Professor Court's memory. I see. Very well, Miss Sykes. I'll testify tomorrow about that truth you're so interested in. Ew. But... oh. Don't look to me if something happens to Juniper because of it. Understand? What's that supposed to mean? That's ominous as hell. What a terrible thing to say. I thought you guys were friends. I thought you had a thing for her. Yes, we were. Until just recently, actually. Were. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. Somehow I doubt that immensely. Why? Just as I have my secrets, she has a side you've never seen. Juniper's not all sunshine and rainbows like you think she is. What are you saying? This conversation is over. I said I don't have a lot of time, and I meant it. Well, that's all kinds of bullcrap and ominous. You wait! He's gone. He doesn't care about her anymore? Why would he say that? That didn't go well. I guess we'll just have to pin our hopes on his testimony tomorrow. Athena, what do you say we head over to the art room? Might be a nice change of pace. Maybe that's where Robin will be. Hopefully the police have completed their investigation. And if not, we can always just throw Fulbright out. I think we could do it. All right. We don't really have much time left anyways. All righty. Let's go look. I'm a-looking. What do we got today? Hey! Ha ha ha! Why, if it isn't my little lawyer friends again? Thanks again for lowering the school banner for us earlier. Ah, don't mention it. I'm just cool like that, yo. Helping those in need is what my brother justice is all about. Right. So, this art room was where the murder actually occurred? Technically, theoretically, That's right. You can't see it with the naked eye, but there's blood on the floor. The area roped off in the middle of the room marks the spot. The police investigation is done, so if you want to look around, I don't care. Ha ha ha. And then he just kind of skips around the room. I don't know. Find anything new, Detective Fulbright? Ha ha ha! Good question. Unfortunately, the answer is no. He sure is confident for having found nothing. But if we're talking outside of the art room, there's been a major breakthrough. Oh dear. Unless I find out what that is, I don't know what I shall do. No need for the theatrics. I was told I could fill you in on this one. Oh, holler, holler, baller. Wow, you saw right through me, Detective. I'm impressed. Her impeccable acting skills. He saw through them? Looking to get arrested for murder via unwarranted flattery, are we? What? What? All right. Tell me about the breakthrough. I demand to know. So, what's the major breakthrough you mentioned? You want to know? You really want to know? You really? Come on, just tell us already. Oh, you're no fun. Anywho, we got the result of the voice print analysis back. Voice prints? Oh, you mean this tape recorder? Exactly! The voice belongs to the suspect, Miss Woods, beyond a shadow of a doubt. See right here? They analyzed the voice on the tape inside and out. Well, that sucks. That is unfortunate. And you thought the voice of the tape was saying Hugh O'Connor. Ha 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 ha! Thanks for the good laugh, Miss Sykes, but that was just desperate mess. He's the last person I want laughing at me. And yet, here we are. So, now there's evidence of Junie shouting, "You're a goner," around the time of death. If we were to take this as truth, how are we supposed to make sense of it? I can't think of any reason why Junie would shout that in the first place. Even if she was about to do a murder, that just doesn't seem like a thing that she would do. Anywho, let's see. Anything? Search for more info. Search the art room once the cops are gone. Oh, I can examine. I didn't even realize. My bad. Oh boy. All right, there's gonna be a whole lot of pokies. Let's poke at this first. Hey, look, that's you on this mobile, Apollo, a red demon. Bruh. A red? Looks more like a snake curled around a brush to me. That's a damn elephant, you dorks. No. See the antenna and the yellow spots on its back? Anyone can see it's a ladybug. What? I guess we'll have to agree to disagree. The only thing we can agree on is the fact that apparently this art isn't very good, because nobody can tell what it is, except for me somehow. Fine, we can investigate this further at a later date. Agreed? Okay, let's do that. You okay with that, Athena? I really regret bringing this up. All right, tell you what, how about we check out that clock over there? Can we maybe see if it's an hour fast or something? This is the clock that created that major problem for Junie. Let's get all up in there. Don't waste your goddamn time, you! I've checked it, and it's 100% accurate. But, you sure? How'd you check it? Of course I'm sure. I compared it to my own watch, see? Okay, but what if somebody changed it to be an hour ahead, and then later changed it again? I mean, that's totally possible. Most wall-hanging clocks just have like a little tiny gear thing on the back that you can just kind of roll around with your finger, and it changes the time, so it wouldn't be hard. And then all you gotta do is like wear gloves or something. It'd be easy. Detective Fulbright, didn't you notice that your watch had stopped? It has? Oh. Ah! This is unacceptable! We obviously can't rely on him. Let's take a look for ourselves. The Ottodonkus. Let's see. Wait a second. It's ahead by one. I called it. Well, Detective? Well, that's unfortunate. Also, yeah, okay, I thought so. What's with the jank-ass This clock must have been an hour ahead when this photo was taken. Oh, that was Athena talking. If so, that would fit perfectly with Junie's testimony. Prosecutor Blackwell won't like this. I almost feel sorry for the detective. Almost. It's not our fault he couldn't tell his watch was broken. Hey, you can at least pretend to feel sorry by wiping that grin off your face, but she's so smug. She has every right to be. Wait just 1 minute! The clock is an hour ahead right now, sure! But what proof do you have that it was running ahead on the day of the crime? I guess that's a good question. I don't know, we could probably talk to an astrologist or something and, like, check the— Wait! I was gonna say we could, I don't know, talk to an astrologist and get them to look at the moon, and we could, like, triangulate where it would be at that moment in time relative to where they're standing. But what if that is the background for the stage, the trial stage thing, where the concert was? Remember, it was all starry with the crescent moon and whatnot? That's the exact same moon. That's a good question. Wait, I think I just might have something. Detective Fulbright, you would agree that there's a— Oh, are they immediately about to point that out? I thought I was clever! Poopy. You would agree there's a moon outside this window, right? Sure, a nice crescent one, like something out of a picture book. Good night, moon. But if you look at that window in the back with the winch attached to it, you'll see that the only view to be had is the opposite side of the school building. Ooh, then what's this moon doing there? I wonder. I thought I was clever. Poop. All right, well, at least I noticed it before that was spelled out to me. Prosecutor Gavin, you were scheduled to perform at the school festival, weren't you? That's right, but I haven't seen the stage until yesterday. That backdrop with the starry sky and big crescent moon isn't bad. 'Tis true. Isn't this the same as the one painted on the stage backdrop? It could be fake nighttime. The proof's right here, Detective. This shows it was 6 p.m. when the photo was taken. What? What? What does? What does? I don't know. Here, maybe? Mock trial. No. Wait, maybe? To speak with Hugh O'Connor. Meet with Hugh about the report yesterday. 9 a.m. Park at the Mountain. Meet with Mr. Wright about— Nope, none of that. Cause of death, 8 p.m. The tape recorder? Maybe this? Oh, these! These! Yo, look, there's the ding, ring-a-ding, McDing-ding. I didn't even notice that at the time. Take that! Yeah! I know what this moon really is. And if you look at this photo, you'll know too. This shows where that moon in the photo came from and the truth of Judy's testimony. Scuttlebutt coming through! Where? Where does it show that? If you look right here, it will all become crystal clear.
Take that!
They were still prepping the stage, so its backdrop wasn't in place yet. This photo shows them in the process of moving the backdrop into position. I can see that. That's the big board hanging here. The size matches too. But there's no picture. That's a crucial detail, yo! It is, but I believe what we're seeing in this photo is the back of the board. The back of the— That's right. And at around 6 o'clock when this was taken, a photo of that same board was being taken from the front. What do you mean, the front? The front is against the wall. That's where you're wrong. What about the window? To the window! To the wall! Remember how we said the moon shouldn't even exist in this photo? Take a look. Are you suggesting the moon is the one on the backdrop? Exactly. In short, this photo was taken while the backdrop was being moved. And you can see here it was around 6 when the backdrop was being set in place. How about that? How about that? So the art room clock was running fast at least as far back as the day of the murder. Making Yoshi noises. How can I ever face Prosecutor Blackwell now? Yes, just blew a hole in a piece of the prosecution's evidence. But we're not doing it at the trial, so that's unfortunate. Regardless, hell yeah! All right, show me that winch. Some wire and a winch. So this is how they reeled the banners in and out. There's a nice view of the stage from here. Prosecutor Gavin is still standing in front of that broken statue. So it really wasn't you, Apollo. Don't worry, you can tell me. I won't tell anyone. Ugh! I'll never clear my name unless we catch the real culprit. Hey, man, I'd do the same thing. It's all good. Anyway, who knocked this stuff over? A picture of a girl wearing a floral hat. Oh, it has the artist's name right here. R. Newman. Wow, Robin must have painted this. It's clearly Junie. Is this Juniper? The clothes are different, but I mean, we'll see her in that outfit later. But we saw it in the past, which is your future. Crazy, isn't it? Oh, look, there's a piece of paper stuck to the back. Let's see what it says. Completely lacks Professor Court's artistry. Must keep practicing, Robin. Huh. I think this is plenty good myself. Yeah, it's very photorealistic, considering the art style of the series. I wonder what it would have looked like if Professor Court had painted Juniper. I bet it would have been really artistic looking. Maybe like this freaky mess. Look at this freaky mess. A picture of a girl wearing a floral hat. Oh, it has the artist's name right here. Seco. Oh, well, there you go. Wow, Professor Court must have painted this. She, a bit abstract with her styles, ain't she? So, is this what they consider art? Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it looks pretty terrible to me, honestly, but whatever. Art's subjective, I guess. I swear I've seen this girl before. There's an air of fragility about her, and those pity-inducing eyes. Who is this again? Her name's on the tip of my tongue. You're a goober. You're a goober, goober, goober. A mock trial script on the floor, and nearby an envelope marked use. I wonder if Miriam's script was ever really inside that envelope. Well, let's see here. By Miriam Scuttlebutt, and the title is Rogue et Noir, Crimson Blood and Dark Judgment. Damn, sounds like a Castlevania sequel. I wouldn't take part in that mock trial if she begged me. It says there are special rules allowing the payment of bribes while court is adjourned. Oh, and you can bring it up to $3 worth of fabricated evidence, it also says? Welcome to the darkest mock trial ever, where the end justifies the means. The prosecution claims this is the script that was supposed to have been used. That's a load of hooey. But the scripts were selected by Professor Court. Considering how much he valued the truth, I seriously doubt she'd pick a script entitled Crimson Blood and Dark Judgment. Or either Castlevania or a really, really edgy twofer on the Pokemon. Wow, you have that title memorized already? Well, it do be rather noteworthy, let's be real. Let's see, anything else that actually seems interesting or noteworthy? Not really, but I guess so. What about all of these ceramics that Robin keeps breaking? Look, a piece of pottery. Looks like it's already been fired. I bet Robin made it. And I bet it won't last long, not with the way she deals with her own work anyway. Ugh. Yeah, it seems like such a waste. I mean, this one already has some color on it. It looks just like bloodstains the way the glaze was dribbled onto it. Maybe it is blood. Just like... bloodstains? Hold up. In Justice We Trust, that does look like some bloodstains. We better... You saying you didn't notice this, my guy? Y'all a substandard detective, I tell you that. Oi. I get it. The victim was stabbed in the middle of the room where the big bloodstain is, and then brought over here, at which point some of her blood dripped onto these pieces. That means the body very well could have been dropped from this window. In the mock trial script, the body was dropped onto a mat. Then a ball cart was used to move it over to the stage. Wouldn't that line up exactly with where that man-made track was? The maintenance area is below this room, and the storehouse that has a mat and ball cart. Interesting. So, even the moving of the body was carried out just like in the script. The killer sure had a thing for Junie's script. Well, what did you expect? That's why we suspected the defendant in the first place. Well, you're wrong, you stinky goober. Well, and I'm gonna prove it in court. Okay, let's see. Anything else to take a look at? I guess we can look at this. There's a paint palette here. No surprise there, considering this is the art room. Looks like someone mixed yellow and red to make orange. I prefer yellow. You, on the other hand, are way too red. I agree. I'm sorry, Apollo. I've always thought it. You got a little too much red on you. What's that supposed to mean? I think this is saying that the two of us have to work together to solve this case. What if this is Professor Court sending us a message from beyond the grave? What about the blob right next to it, the one with red and green? Well, maybe she's implying that you need more delicious greens in your diet. Are you saying Professor Court is watching over our dietary habits from the pearly gates? It's not like she's got anything else to do. Once you're up there, they don't have cable. They don't have Wi-Fi. Why would anybody even want to go there? That's what I want to know. Come on now. Anyway, what's this? There's really not much of interest here. At least that's what my intuition tells me. And it do be a pretty good intuition. Let's be real. 3 busts sitting on a shelf. A judge, a defendant, and either a lawyer or a prosecutor. Who the hell knows? The bearded one must be the judge, and the bummed out looking one, the defendant. Yeah, that makes sense. Look, there's another one that's fallen onto the floor. I wonder which one fell, the lawyer or the prosecutor. Well, knowing how lawyers get treated in this universe, I could wager a guess. Think, Apollo, think! This could tell us how tomorrow's trial will go. I'll just wait for tomorrow's horoscopes, thanks. That's weird. That's weird. You're a weird. Anyway, what's with this thing pointing? It kinda looks like there's a prosecutor's badge at the top of the statue. Oh yeah, kinda. But it's not if you look really close. Another strange, difficult to understand work of art. Oh look, it has a title. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Real creative. Art. Either it's too abstract to understand or as subtle as a sledgehammer. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Let's see, anything else to look at? I guess we could look at the rope. Hey, this area with the rope around it. Hi, it's me! That's where we detected a large blood stain. In short, the victim was stabbed here or somewhere close by. I don't know. The fact that there's no visible blood means it was wiped up with something, right? Right, but we were able to detect trace amounts of blood. We used luminol. Merely wiping it up does not remove all evidence of wrongdoing. And that, in a nutshell, is justice, right? I'd appreciate it if you'd let me have the cool lines. Nah, we ain't doing that. Anyway, what's up with this here table? Hey, it's gone. Remember that strange statue in the school camera photo? The one that we clearly, like, put together? Yeah, I do. Why you gone? You're right. Wonder where it is. I guess it fell out the window. Robin's a member of the Fine Arts Club. Maybe she could shed some light on this. Once we find her, I think we've examined pretty much everything we can. By the way, did Prosecutor Blackwell happen to tell you anything about tomorrow's trial? In Justice We Trust! It's no use trying to pry more information out of me. Having just learned the clock had been 1 hour fast, means we're back to square one concerning the suspect's actions that day. I wonder what the main argument will be about now. How the body was moved would be my guess, but Prosecutor Blackwell's got his own plans. You know how he is with his weird bird nonsense, but don't tell him I said that. He'll send it to take my eyes. Oh, does he now? Detective Fulbright. Try as you might, I won't say another word about the investigation. No. I wasn't gonna ask about that. I was just wondering if you'd seen Robin. Oh, you mean Miss Robin Newman? She was just here a moment ago. And she mumbled something about watching videos in the lecture hall. Video? What video? Bob Ross? Maybe. Probably. Thanks, Detective. Athena, I think we should stop by the lecture hall. Righty-o, let's go, yo. We going, yo. We going. Also, Robin, please don't yell. I'm still tired. I can't handle your exuberance. It's too much for me. There she is. Robin. Hey, Robin. Oh, Athena, Apollo. You feeling liberated and whatnot? I hope that's, working out for you. I really do, if possible, would like to talk to you about why? Why was that? What were you watching there? Oh, it just so happens to be a video of the mock trial, which apparently exists. I had to use a bit of coercion to get it, but the end justifies the means, right? There it is again. Professor Mean sure has a lot of influence around here. Shoo! Care to take a look into the true connection between the murder and the mock trial with me? Sounds great, but do you mind if we ask you some questions first? Sure, I'll tell you anything you W-A-N-T. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna start with this. Have there been any problems now that everyone here knows you're a girl? No worries there. I discussed the matter with Professor Court some time ago. I told her I wanted to let everyone know I was really a girl. And just today, I found out that she spoke with the school administration on my behalf. Huh, wow, they must really like you. I know, right? But now I can finally be myself here at school. I don't have to hide the fact that I love girly clothes. That's why, Athena, I simply must have this, and this by any means possible. What? But this is evidence we need for the trial. Sorry, but no can do. Don't be a party pooper, Athena. Come on, please. Pretty please. Stage costume-related evidence has been taken. in classic and justifies the means style. Oh no, the narration is faltering now. Ah, darn it. Anyway, thank you again, Athena. Thank you for revealing who I really am. Well, I'm happy to help. I wanted everyone to know before that snitch found out. The snitch? Sounds like a new lead. Is that Scuttlebutt? There's a rumor going around that one of the students here is a snitch. Shoo! I hear they're watching everything we do, our activities, our relationships, our interests, and reporting it all to one of the professors. Why would anyone do that? To be a kiss ass? Who knows? Officially, I heard it's to seek out misconduct among the student body. But rumor has it grades were being bought and sold through the surveillance network. Oh, damn. That's bribery! The situation at Themis Legal Academy is worse than I thought. For as fancy and high-tech and cool as this whole, building is, there's a lot of corruption going all tossed about. All of this is important stuff. I still want to talk about that thing in the art room. I'll have to present some evidence to show her what I'm talking about, though. Well, then it's a good thing I have evidence. Let's say. I've got double evidence, as a matter of fact. All right, let's start with this specifically. Robin, I just remembered something I wanted to ask you. This photo shows a piece of art on the table. Do you know what it is? Shoe! Oh, not my shoe! Look at the unique artistic sense! That has to be one of Professor Court's creations, man! Professor Court's artistic sense? You mean crap? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but it sucks. Shoo. Professor Court's artistic sense? That's a tough one. I'd say it's avant-garde and very eclectic? Maybe? In other words, it's weird and all over the place. Yeah, that's the nice way of saying it. Come to think of it, that strange-looking painting in the art room was one of Professor Court's works, wasn't it? Abstract. The statue in that window was originally a statue of Lady Justice. Lady Justice? Professor Court had planned on placing it on the judge's bench in the lecture hall. But the day before the mock trial, it broke while she was polishing it. She said she'd take it back to the art room and try to fix it somehow. So, this is the statue in its proper state? You bet. Just look at that wild silhouette. Wow, it's so C-U-T-E. I don't get it. Do you have to be an artist to appreciate stuff like this? Technically, I'm an artist and... Athena, the Lady Justice that you put back together on that stage. Oh, right, I didn't realize before because it was in pieces, but before it was smashed. Maybe it didn't look like Lady Justice, but more like whatever the flying hell this mess is. What in the world was it doing on the stage? That is the question! Interesting. All right, then. So what's up with that confession you went and done and did? Girl! About your confession today, why you do that? Because Juniper hasn't done anything wrong. I had to stop the trial by any means possible. Right, the end justifies the means. So, you're a follower of Professor Means too? Professor Means is a wonderful teacher as well as Professor Court. I like them B-O-T-H. She brushed that one off like a pro. Scoundrel. With that style of justice, you run the risk of breaking the law. Breaking the law. Well, I'm prepared to quit school because of this case. Yeah, you said you wanted to be an artist. What? Why? I want to be an artist. That's what I really want, man. But no! My parents forced me to study to become a prosecutor. And also put you in a brace to contain your, form? Why? You know, that's not just messed up psychologically. It could actually cause irreversible damage to you physically. Like, it's screwed up in a bunch of ways. But if the trial went south, you'd have to drop out and give up on being a prosecutor. That's what you're really after, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Sniffle. Talk about someone who literally changes at the bat of an eyelash. Of which she always had, and it was primarily the main reason I was always so suspicious. Anyway, I guess she's been dealing with her own problems too. Yeah, I suppose so, but that doesn't make what she did right. Not at all. Not at all. There's the right way, and there's the right way. And you didn't do either. Unfortunate. Could you tell us about what you were doing on the night of the murder? Shoo. Finishing a statue. I was on the stage until the last bell. That's right. Oh, that's right. You made the statues of Mr. Wright and Professor Gavin, didn't you? Yeah, I did both of them. Well, that's obviously a lie. This is just a formality, but can you prove you were making the statues at that time? Can I prove it? You think I'm the killer? No! Jesus Christ, lady. No, that's not what I meant. Shoo. Both Hugh and Robin were still at school after 7 p.m. But neither of them could prove exactly what they were doing. That's a conundrum. We're supposed to be trying to prove innocence up in here. Could one of them really have murdered Professor Court? Doubt! I doubt it immensely. Well, I think that about covers it. Okay, then how about watching the mock trial video with me? What do you say? Sure, sounds good to me. So how do you want to watch it? I put it on the big screen. All classroom desks at this school have their own built-in computer, you know? Wow, this place is definitely a lot cushier than I thought. You could tell by all the damn screens. Are those not supposed to be up? I know you guys are in a hurry, so I'll just fast forward to the important parts. Thank you. Let's start with the professor's pre-trial speech. Okay. Look at these nerds. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. Oh, that sounds like Professor Me. Oh. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. Is the camera like this the whole time? Yeah, it's in a fixed position in front of the stage. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come. How come teachers' speeches always make me so sleepy? Because they lack charisma, generally speaking. I mean, you have to be a very, lightning in a bottle type person to be a good educator in a way that actually yields anything resembling results. Because you might have the goodest of intentions, but you might not have the presence to be able to command people's attention. Or you might have that, but you actually don't really have your heart into the whole education system to begin with. Maybe you did have both of those things, but the system itself was so faulty and full of holes that it ultimately barreled down upon your soul, and eventually you become a jaded burnout. There's a large variety of reasons that this can ultimately end up occurring. Let's just skip to the end of his speech. Juniper! Now, let the mock trial begin! And what's the deal here? Why is Judy so large in the shot? Well, to put it quite frankly and simply, Athena.
See? Bufffoot isn't giant, it's just in the foreground.
It's kind of weird you don't know that. Looks to me like she cut right in front of the camera. Yeah, she'll do that from time to time. Juniper was also in charge of the audio. Even though she was already playing a part in the mock trial itself, she had to do it to keep the script details secret. She was all over the place that day. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music. Ah, so this is what the lecture hall looks like. I wonder if this is relevant to literally anything. Looks like there's a judge's bench back by the screen and a witness stand up front. Yeah, we can see that with our eyes, dude. What about those balconies with the professors' names on them? Those are the faculty seats. Are they the only two professors in this entire school? What? Professor Means and Professor Court were in charge of scoring the mock trial. Convenience. It's just interesting, we've literally not even heard of other professors. It's just pretty much just these two. Weird. Anywho. Okay, let's fast forward this bit. Like so. Ooh. And that's why the defendant is definitely guilty! Wow. Ah, that was me. Could you tell? Objection. A frail co-ed using her bare hands to stab a professor with an arrow? That's a load of poo-poo. You read that line in the mock trial, Apollo, but you made it sound kinda weird. Cut me some slack. It was my first time reading that script. Oi, I think Juniper's going to speak next. I didn't do it. I suffered a breakdown and pretty much lost it. It's true, I shouted, you're a gunner, but I didn't mean it. She's playing a Scottish character, in case it wasn't obvious. Wow, what an emotional performance. She put a real actress to shame. Wait, could you go back and play that scene again? You really think that's necessary? Yes! Trust my madness. I did do it! I'd suffered a breakdown and pretty much lost it. I'm committed, I guess. It's true, I shouted, you're a gunner, but I didn't mean it. Stop! Did you hear that? I think you're onto something. Let's play that last part again! I don't follow. What are you guys so excited about? No thoughts. Head empty. I think this piece of evidence should explain it. Time to show Robin a piece of evidence that links the line we just heard of the case. Check this mess out, yo! I'm sure you remember this. It contains a female voice shouting a violent threat. I'll play it for you. You're a goner! The voices and performance do sound similar. But I can't believe this is happening. It's just a possibility, but if the voice on this tape is really a recording, one made for the mock trial video, then that means the evidence was fabricated. I didn't get to do a voice print analysis in time for court today. That's why the gender of the voice became so important. And if the real killer had foreseen that gender would become key in today's trial, he would have tried to deflect attention away from himself by making the suspect female. So basically, the only one with something to gain from doing this is our sole male suspect. Okay. I don't think that's how this is gonna go, but wait a second. No way! Professor Means' credo is the end justifies the means. So it makes perfect sense that a student who took those words to heart would fabricate evidence. We need to get that tape analyzed as soon as possible. Ah! Allow me to assist you with that. Oh, it's this guy. Professor, why am I saying Professor? Prosecutor Gavin, at least make some kind of noise so we know you're there, you creepy weirdo. It's go big or go home with a Rockstar Entrances frontline. Timing is everything. That's right, I waited by the door frame and listened in and just kind of waited for the right moment. I've been here for the last 22 minutes. I'm hungry. Let me take a copy of that tape right now, and I'll get you the results as soon as I can. I trust that would be all right. Very much so, thanks. Blech. Get out of here. Ugh. Well, Athena, it's almost sundown. Isn't it about time we head over to the detention center? I think Junie will agree that this is something that could prove her innocence. But will her heart be open to accepting it? She had to have known this was what I'd find. I mean, she was hiding some kind. She was in charge of the audio. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Let's have ourselves a conversation about this mess. And that about covers the main gist of our investigation. Wow, we didn't actually have to explain it. It got yada yada'd. I see. Very interesting. You've been quite the busy beaver today. Perhaps. Thank you for all your hard work, Athena. Well, my time's about up, and it'll be getting dark soon, so... Junie! You must be tired after being on your feet all day. You should go home and... No! Wait! You have to listen to me! I don't want to hear anymore. I know what you're going to say, Athena. Junie, you promised! You promised! You didn't pinky promise. We should have pinky promised! We're going to discover the truth behind this murder mystery, and we're gonna bring you solid evidence showing just what that truth is. If we succeed in doing that, I want you to promise that you'll accept it, Junie, no matter how hard it is to hear. Okay, but only if it's the real truth. So please, please just listen to what I have to say. Once you've heard me out, I'll let you decide what to do. Okay, all right, let's talk. Let's talk. The voice in this recording has been proven to be yours, Junie. And in the mock trial video, we can hear you reading your line from the script. We're having both of them analyzed now, but from what I can tell, the voices are the same. And the only one who'd benefit from taking the voice recording would be Hugh. But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, Hugh confessed in order to protect me. This may sound strange, but his confession is a ploy to make himself look less suspicious. In other words, he was just pretending to protect you. Besides, his confession came after you and Robin had already confessed. If he hadn't confessed right then as well, wouldn't that have seemed a little suspicious? Say what you will, Athena, but none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. Hugh was a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble. Lies! Apollo. Wait, Athena. My bracelet just reacted. It did? But why? Because she's telling a fib, a lie, a fabrication. Junie, can you look me in the eye and repeat what you just said? Oh, none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. Hugh is a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble. So you're saying there's a lie in there? Now I'm sure of it. She's lying. All right, let's go ahead and figure out what her nervousness is. I mean, quite frankly, she seems to be all nervous ticks, but okay. Let's perceive the events! Let's see, what am I looking at? The hand and eyes. Those are the best places to look. He was a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades. Is your other hand doing anything? No. Okay. And never causes trouble. Huh. I didn't notice a change at all. Like straight up, I don't notice anything different. I'm staring extra hard. Unless blinking is somehow a nervous tick. I kind of doubt it. But yeah, no. Her eyes, her eyebrows, her nose, her mouth, those are all completely solid as a rock. They're not doing anything. Listen again, I guess. Let's really stare at the hand. Maybe, I don't know, one of her fingers twitches or something? What the heck is going on? Am I blind? What's going on? No, this hand is entirely immobile. It's not doing anything. I don't notice a single solitary difference. I've gotten so desperate I'm looking at her sunflower now. Maybe it wilts in response to bad juju. I don't know, but I'm not seeing anything. I figured this girl would be like a wash with all sorts of nervous tics, but I'm getting nothing. Nothing on her is moving. Okay, this is stupid, but okay, listen again. Her little schoolgirl tie? It was kind of sort of wiggling a little. That's weird. So it never causes trouble. Yeah, no, it's like... What in the hell? Okay.
Gotcha!
Is your heart beating so fast it's making your tie flutter? Oh, no, that was her cough. Oh. Okay. Juniper, you start coughing when you're under stress. Boy, she does. You can't hide it from me no matter how hard you try. When you said, and never causes trouble, a cough escaped and made your scarf flutter. Damn, that is tiny. As for why you were stressed, it's because you were lying. You liar! Yeah, you better get a huff of that good stuff. Junie, you're trying to hide Hugh's connection to this case, aren't you? And I believe that also ties into a secret about yourself. A secret? About me? I don't understand. Well, you're about to. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. But why? There's a side to her that no one's ever seen. That's right. She does parkour. He ended their friendship after he found out about Junie's secret, which means Hugh must have felt betrayed by Junie, making her the killer, the accomplice, the snitch. You were Professor Court's snitch, weren't you? There's a rumor going around that I assumed it was Scuttlebutt. The students here is a snitch. Shoo. I hear they're watching everything we do, our activities, our relationships, our interests, and reporting it all to one of the professors. And while fulfilling that role, you learned something about Hugh you'd rather forget. I don't know what you're talking about. Junie, please, stop hiding things from me. I hate having to force things out of you like this. Looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way. Time to review the evidence and see if I can't prove my hypothesis. I must have something that proves Junie's the snitch and Hugh's connection to the case. Wild ass shot in the dark, but this scrap of paper?
Take that!
I'm relieved to see you're coming around. You see, I wasn't trying to hide anything. Juniper's one cool customer, Athena. Wait, I don't think that was the right piece of evidence. No, it wasn't. Whatever you show me won't change the fact that I've already told you all I know. Lies! Okay, well, what the hell? Okay, proves Junie's the snitch and Hugh's connection to the case. Let's see, diagram of the lecture hall. No. The result of the analysis. Don't think so. Evidence that, no. I was gonna say, well, here's evidence of you two together. That doesn't work. I don't have the slightest heckin' clue.
Take
What if I
that!
just throw up evidence at you? Okay, nope, that definitely didn't work either. Okay, well, maybe speak to Hugh O'Connor, proof of the thing. Huh?
Take that!
Hey! Right there in Professor Court's planner, it says, routine report. Routine report! I believe this is meant to mean when the snitch would report into Professor Court. I also believe Professor Court planned to meet Hugh in private based on the snitch's info, because it was important. And from their meeting, Hugh must have put 2 and 2 together, had 4, and figured out your secret. So you see, it all makes sense, only if you're the snitch, Junie. Sniffle. I don't want to make you cry. Forgive me. Forgive me, Theta. I've been lying to you this whole time. The truth is, I suspected Hugh from the start. You did? Oh no, this is surprising. Okay. I'm so sorry. I've talked about friendship so much, but I've been a terrible friend. Juniper, I don't have that special kind of hearing that Athena does, but I don't need it to sense the pain you're feeling inside. And its intensity is directly proportional to how you feel about your friend. Am I right? Apollo. Please, Junie, tell me why you suspected Hugh. I have a feeling that'll be the key to getting to the bottom of this whole case. Start talking. What exactly was your role as class snitch? Professor Court had told me how Academy alumni had strayed from the path of justice. The dark age of the law, huh? She didn't want any more of our students going astray like that. But few others at the Academy shared her view. I thought her ideas were beautiful, though sad and unrealistic. Life sucks and everything is bad. She asked you to be her eyes and ears, didn't she? I used to report to her once a month about any wrongdoings I'd seen or heard about. And that report session in her planner, the one from October 22nd, was a part of that. Yes. That's when I reported Hugh to Professor Court. She snitched on her own friend? Gaspathy. I had accidentally overheard Hugh talking. What did you hear? He was talking to someone on the phone. I think it was one of his parents. What were they talking about? Something about having paid money for good test scores. Whoa. I only overheard him talking, so I never did find out who the money was going to. What? That's bribery! Hugh was buying his way through school. And if that's the case, then that evidence that always seemed out of place might actually be about a secret. This?
Take that!
Yay! We found this while we were investigating the stage. It's got Hugh's name on it. I didn't know what the number meant at the time, but now that I'm hearing about bribes, it must mean that a bribe of 120 grand was to be paid in October. Jesus Christ. What's more, take a look at this mark. The same mark is on the pages of Professor Court's planner. Hey, you're right. Wait, but why would Professor Court have that kind of information in her planner? You don't really think the person who was taking the bribe money was... It's just a possibility at this point, but it may indeed have been Professor Court. That isn't possible. She'd be the last person I'd ever suspect of accepting bribes. Like I said, it's just a possibility. Just a good one. Maybe their private talk had to do with the possibility of the bribery being exposed. And what started out as a little argument soon got out of hand. It's not your fault, Junie. Anybody would have suspected Hugh if they knew what you knew. No, I don't believe that alone would have driven him to murder. There's another reason why I suspected Hugh. Eh? You've got to be kidding me. There's another reason? How much evidence is going against this dude? I saw Hugh around 7 p.m., the day before the mock trial. Oh, so she's finally ready to talk about that. When I saw him, his Come on. Oh, Athena. Junie, are you all right? Just try to relax and tell me what happened. This is important stuff. Oh.
I never wanted to see what I did. But I'll have to live with it, won't I? In that hallway, Hugh's hands. His hands were dripping with blood.
Okay, yeah, no, that is a bit of a... That's a bit of a problem. What? But why? What am I going to do? Deep down, I know Hugh can't be the killer. But my mind keeps telling me he is, no matter how hard I try to convince myself he isn't. What am I going to do? Hugh. Please. I can't take this anymore. Athena. So she hid the fact that she had seen Hugh and said she was home at 6 because she wanted to avoid talking about what she saw. Junie, it must have been terrible holding all of that in. But it's going to be okay. I'll get to the bottom of this. And that's my promise from one good friend to another. I'll be defending Juniper tomorrow. If that's okay with you, Professor Means. My main concern is whether you can defeat that prosecutor. But I won't try to stop you. I will be watching from the gallery, and shall look forward to seeing what sort of results your methods can produce. Good luck tomorrow. Now, if you would excuse me. Athena, I'm sorry. I really mean it. I wish I had trusted you from the start. You have to uncover the truth tomorrow. I know you can do it. Don't worry. We already know that the prosecution's key piece of evidence is a fake. And thanks to you, we figured out the motive, too. Let's give this our best shot, Athena. Let tomorrow be the day Juniper walks free. I wouldn't have it any other way. We should be all ready now. What could possibly go wrong? Athena, why would you ever say that, girl? Still, there's this strange, uneasy feeling I can't shake. I'd better be imagining it. Alright. So, maybe it's unfounded. Maybe I'm just overly suspicious of the really creepy dude. And, I mean, the main concern I have is the fact that I don't actually have any... Again, I don't have a motive or a method or any pieces of evidence that even point to him in that direction, but my base assumption is that, considering how blatantly obvious and how everything under the sun is pointing towards Hugh being the culprit, he can't be. Which means it's going to be my job to somehow prove that he isn't, despite all of this incredibly clear-cut evidence. That's gonna be a problem, assuming that is what I'm going to have to do. You know? Because it just sounds like, we have everything we need, we have a motive, we've got a reasoning, we've got logic, we've got eyewitnesses, we've got literally everything under the sun in order to be able to make this a sure thing. So there has to be a wrinkle, there has to be an issue, there has to be a problem. And I think that the problem is that it just ultimately doesn't all add up. And I just don't know how it doesn't all add up. That is very interesting indeed. And in the next part, we shall return to court, and I'll somehow figure this out. See you all then.